The film starts with Cold War footage, where a clandestine group named Patriots performs human experiments to bolster the military's might. The chosen volunteers are bestowed with unique superhuman abilities, such as transforming into a beast or controlling rocks, to eradicate human inconsistencies and instabilities. A group of self-governing fighter robots exhibit their prowess by detecting and destroying a targeted object in front of government officials. These robots are swift and efficient, making it easy for them to dodge enemy attacks. The robots operate autonomously, approaching the control room and firing missiles at it, killing all the officials present. Subsequently, a cyborg named Kuritov shows up and reveals that he was the one controlling the fighter robots. This heinous act leads to an emergency meeting called by the Ministry of Defense. During the meeting, the general discloses that Kuritov headed the Patriots project, which was a massive success. One of Kuritov's colleagues initiated Module 1, allowing someone to operate all vehicles remotely. However, Module 1 failed terribly, prompting Kuritov and his partner to abandon the project. However, Kuritov, driven by his ambition, decided to steal Professor Viktor Golbanov's research results. In secret, he carried out genetic experiments that led to the deaths of innocent people used as test subjects. The military decides to arrest him, and in his lab, Kuritov hides in a room and tries to build a bomb, resulting in a massive explosion. However, he survived because his body was coated in chemicals. As a result, he gained enormous power and eventually transformed into a cyborg form while completing Module 1 project, which allowed him to control vehicles. Meanwhile, Kuritov arrived at a warehouse containing military vehicles and used his power to start and control the trucks without touching them, preparing to build his own army. The general explained that the only way to defeat Kuritov was to locate and persuade the superhumans of the Patriots project to assist them. Consequently, Major Elena Larina was assigned to lead the mission. Upon entering the Patriots control room, she immediately ordered her team to track down all of the Patriots' superhumans. Before leaving, the general concluded that the team formed after discovering all superhumans conducted a thorough search of the entire database, social media, and unusual reports, gradually retrieving the data and locating the superhumans one by one. Elena and the team rushed to the first superhuman hideout, a hidden church where she confronted Lure, a man whose superpower was the ability to control stone. Although he initially refused to join the team, Elena eventually persuaded him to do so to exact revenge on Kuritov, who had tortured him during the experiment. They then traveled to the desert, where Khan, armed with curved swords and super speed, easily defeated Elena's men. After being persuaded by Lure, Khan decided to join the team in their quest for vengeance. They approached Arsus, who could transform into a huge and powerful bear in a secluded woods. The fourth and final superhuman, Xenia, had the ability to become invisible underwater. The team confronted her backstage, where she and Khan had a brief fight. Soon after, Lure and Arsus appeared and encouraged her to join the team to defeat Kuritov. Finally, the Guardians, a group of 4 superhumans, were formed. Xenia revealed that all superhumans were immortal. The military has located Kuritov and assigned the first task of apprehending him to an old factory where many of his men are patrolling. Unfortunately, communication with the control room has been cut off, forcing the superhumans to move on their own. While Xenia and Lure sneak into the building, Arsa is in his bear form, and Khan fights the guards and have set up traps to capture the superhumans. Xenia is discovered and frozen, while Lure is ambushed but manages to block all the bullets by forming rocks as armor and easily defeats Kuritov's men. Kuritov finally appears and engages Lure in a one-on-one battle. Unfortunately, the cyborg is far stronger than expected and easily defeats the Rocky guy, knocking him out. Outside, Khan is paralyzed, and Arsa is apprehended. Using a special web, Kuritov invites the Guardians to join him so that they can rule the world together, but they decline, leaving him disappointed, except for Lure. The Guardians are imprisoned and given 24 hours to reconsider their decision. Elena arrives at the factory late and discovers Lure unconscious on the ground. Kuritov visits a military facility, demonstrating that he has assembled his army and troops. The troops devastate the city, forcing the military to evacuate the residents. They even steal a transmission tower for the old Soviet satellite. Suddenly, a military representative named Nikolai appears, who leaked the ambush plan to Kuritov and requests a reward from the cyborg, but he's strangled to death. Kuritov intends to transport the tower to a higher location, from which he will be able to control every vehicle on the planet once it has reached the desired height. Lure finally awakens and shares his heartbreaking story about having to watch his loved ones die because his ability prevents him from growing old. Soon after, a professor, Kuritov's former co-worker, approaches Elena and decides to assist her because he recognizes that humanity is in danger. He reveals Kuritov's hidden laboratory within the old factory, and the team eventually frees the remaining guardians while the professor tries to cure Lure. Arsa informs Elena that he has found Xenia since 8 years ago, but has decided to keep his distance because she has lost her memory. He is also concerned that he will permanently transform into a bear, so he requests to speak with the professor. Elena promises to assist him. Meanwhile, the tower is finally installed on the roof of Moscow's Federation building, and Kuritov begins rerouting the satellite to Earth's orbit. Elena's man reveals Kuritov's true plan to take over all communications satellites so that he can control all vehicles on the planet using the Module 1 project's device. Several aircraft are dispatched to disrupt Kuritov's plan, but they are easily magnetic shield. Elena locates Khan, who has given up and left the Guardians, and persuades him to rejoin the team. Elena bestows special suits and weapons on the Guardians to improve their fighting efficiency. Arsa is given a mobile artillery that can detect targets based on their aggression, whereas Xenia's suit allows her to be invisible in any situation she desires and can also turn any objects she touches invisible. Since Kuritov neutralized Lure's ability, he receives a special suit and a weapon that can generate electromagnetic impulses. Finally, Khan's armor and weapons are upgraded, allowing him to deflect all incoming damage, including bullets and knives. They participate in training to become accustomed to their new special suits and weapons. Slowly but steadily, they learn to use their clothes and weapons effectively while combining them with their superpower. With only 1 hour to stop Kuritov, the Guardians rush to Moscow. The military is waiting for their signal before launching rockets at the city, while Xenia and Arsus are advancing through the streets, eliminating emerging soldiers. Lure fights several soldiers in a basement parking space. Using his electric whip, Arsus transforms into his second bear form, becoming stronger and faster, and destroys several robots. They enter the building and meet up with Lure in the lift. They attempt to reach the transmitter tower but are met by Kuritov's men. Khan jumps from the plane and slashes the pipe, causing all the soldiers to fall. They arrive at the shield's power source where Xenia volunteers to turn off the generator. She succeeds, but the shield immediately vanishes, causing her injury. The Guardians confront Kuritov again at the top of the tower. Even after combining Xenia and Lure's powers, they are unable to defeat him. Arsus transforms into his second bear form once more, but the cyborg easily knocks him out. Since the military has launched the missiles, Khan attaches a grappling rope to an emerging airplane and rescues the Guardians from the tower. However, Kuritov manages to take control of the plane, forcing Khan to cut the grappling rope and plunge into a river. Elena arrives on the scene and warns them to flee because the missiles are already on their way. Unfortunately, Kuritov gains control of the missiles, which explode in the sky. Elena then reveals that the Guardians have the ability to combine all of their energy and release a blast. They are willing to take the risk. Arsus, Khan, and Xenia all touch as he generates a massive blast aimed at the tower. Tov is killed when the tower and surrounding skyscrapers collapse. However, the blast drains all the Guardians' energy and they lay on the ground. They eventually recover and meet Elena on a bridge where the Guardians decide to return to normal society. Elena informs them that she has discovered another Guardian. This is where the movie ends. Thank you for watching. Kindly subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this. Like the video and comment about your thoughts on the story. See you in the next video!